For more on this, let's bring in Florida Congressman Greg Steube. Congressman, it's going to be on you and the Republicans from the White House to the House and the Senate to try and undo whatever Joe Biden and his cohorts try to get done between now and the inauguration. And look no further than the Department of Education is trying to push through more student loan forgiveness. Already there has been about $200 billion in student loan debt forgiven for about 4.8 million borrowers. They're trying to push through, by some estimates, another $600 billion, all of which would happen for hardship reasons after President Trump is inaugurated. It's an abomination.
It is. And it's sad that they feel like they have to bankrupt our country, give humanitarian aid to terrorists, do all of these things, knowing that Trump's coming in, knowing that a Republican House is returning, knowing that a Republican Senate is coming in, and we have very broad support within our conference to do away with the entire Department of Education. So of course they're going to try to spend as much money as they possibly can, and they know it's unconstitutional to do away with student debt. They've already been hit on that at the U.S. Supreme Court, but it's really telling that their agenda didn't work with the American people, which is why they overwhelmingly lost, even in the swing states. But they're going to try as much as they can to spend as much money as they can before Republicans take control to rein in all of that spending.
Part of it is the spending, and then part of it is the complication it creates for the next administration. But I got to say, I mean, watching Donald Trump out on the world stage, if there's anybody who's going to be able to get ahead of this stuff, it seems like he's able to do that, Congressman.
Well, and if the executive branch is doing this through administrative action, then the new executive branch under Donald Trump can do it through executive action and claw that money back, claw those things back. Hopefully it hasn't been spent and delegated out like this money they want to give to humanitarian organizations in Syria is going to go and find its hands into terrorists, just like the humanitarian aid that they gave to Gaza found its way into the hands of Hamas, and the money we send to Lebanon finds its way into the hands of Hezbollah. All of this stuff ends when Donald Trump becomes president, because he's going to put America first. He's going to put Americans' needs first. And finally, we will have strength in the White House as it relates to everything, including our foreign affairs.
Yeah, just on the student loan forgiveness, in essence, Biden and company have saddled the 85% of Americans who have no student loan debt with the very student loan debt. It's a transfer to those people who never took the debt on, of the debt of people who have degrees that make them earn six figures a year. Anyway, I digress. You were talking about the foreign aid. And Congressman, you've introduced the STAND Act to defund foreign aid during natural disasters, because there has been nothing more egregious than watching Joe Biden dole out aid in Africa while people in Western North Carolina are suffering mightily.
$1 billion to Africa, while people in my district who got 3 hurricanes in 3 months, 2 in 2 weeks, who still have tarps on their roof, who still have debris out in front of their house, nothing for them. They don't get anything, but Africa, you get $1 billion. And that's exactly why the American people put Trump back in the White House, because of things like this. You have a complete mismanagement of resources at the White House, and all of that is about to change. But nothing is more frustrating than seeing our hard-earned tax dollars going to foreign countries when Americans are hurting. So I filed this bill. I think it's going to move through the process once we take the majority back and the Senate back, and nothing stands for America first than looking out for our people that have been hit by a natural disaster.
I will say one thing that might be a close second in terms of frustration is when you find out that the feds are surveilling your bank account because you happen to shop at Cabela's or Bass Pro Shops. I know that your committee has been looking into this. What are you finding, and what can Congress do about this? Because this is one of the greatest abuses of power among many over the last 4 years with the previous administration.
Yeah, this goes all the way back to the intelligence agencies surveilling the Trump campaign in 2016. This is the deep state at work. This is the type of things that Republicans want to show the American people what was going on and then fix it. Now, the good thing is with Trump coming into the White House, a lot of this he can deal with administratively, but Congress has to act to ensure that in a future administration, this never happens again. In a future administration, the FBI is not calling your bank and asking if you spent money on guns or ammunition or firearms, even using the term MAGA or buying Republican or conservative type paraphernalia to alert you in their system so that they can then investigate you. It's un-American, it's wrong, it's going to be fixed when Trump comes in, but Congress has to address it so it never happens again.
Amen. And also stop the debanking of people who are labeled politically exposed people. It just so happens they always seem to be conservative or Republican. Never happens to a liberal. And it's you want to talk about deep state, root that out because it's rot. And it runs throughout government, Congressman Greg Steube. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Good to see you.